says, your immersive experience has been hijacked. It is highly recommended that you disconnect.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Immersive Experience, a podcast about you, for you, from you. I'm your guide, Desi Lou, and today's guest is a living testament to the power of transformation. From the streets of Kankakee, Illinois, to becoming a respected electrician, a prolific author, a motivational force, and a mentor, Christopher Barnes has turned struggle into strength, pain into purpose, and setbacks into stepping stones. At just 12 years old, he was arrested for mob action. By his teenage years, he was entrenched in gang life, surviving shootouts, incarcerations, and trauma. But in 1995, something shifted. He earned his GED, started college, and after his final prison release in 2004, he made a choice. He made the choice to rewrite his story. Now, with over 20 years in the electrical trade, 8 transformative books on mental health, entrepreneurship, and wellness, and a thriving streetwear brand, the Akade Collection, Christopher dedicates his life to guiding others through their own redemption arcs. Today, we'll deep dive into his journey from chaos to clarity, from incarceration to inspiration, and from survival to success. Welcome to the show today, ladies and gentlemen. Christopher Barnes. What's up?
What's up with it? What's up with it?
You gotta understand how long I've been wanting to sit down with you and talk to you for real, for real. So, first of all, thank you. I appreciate you for
Hey,
making this podcast possible today.
it's mutual. It's definitely mutual. It's definitely
Absolutely.
mutual because
So,
I feel like you got something to bring.
well, I do, cause it's the thing. It's this for me, and I'll tell you why I've always been so intrigued in you. It's because of the conviction that you walk with. It's not a thing of, like, how you have a lot of people who are motivational speakers, and sometimes what I know about motivational speakers is that most motivational speakers are not passive aggressive, and you're straightforward. Like, you're very straightforward. You have a straightforward approach, and I love hearing that. I love your call to actions, to the community, to Black people, all of those things. Like, and I think that is very inspirational, and that's really why I was drawn to you. It's really the way that you go out and you just kind of like, you like this. You make enemies mad. That's what I'll say. That's how I'll put that out there. Like, if it's a person who is seeking to better themselves or do better for themselves, like, you have a way of convicting them, because your life not only shows what it is that you talk about or you motivate about, but you live it. You live it. You also teach it. So even just being that example, what's up, Devon? How you feeling? How you feel?
Hello.
Um, so I want to thank you for that, your platform. But I do want to let you introduce yourself, give people your handles, where they can find you at, where they can shop you at. So,
First of all, I want to tell you, Desi, that I appreciate you for allowing me from Kankakee to even be on your platform because I look at your platform. The only reason why your platform is not being blasted, like say Wallow and $1 million a game or these other platforms is because the right person has not touched it yet. You know what I'm saying? Because you're already on the level because you bring things that we don't normally talk about. We like to bash things. You come with a solution. While we talking about the problem, we also talking about a solution at the same time. So I definitely appreciate you for allowing me to um, and I gotta warn your listeners and your people who may watch this. I don't sugarcoat shit, not even with myself. So I'm not gonna sugarcoat shit with you. We don't have the liberty of time to waste to baby people, to sugarcoat shit, to make it feel good for you, to make it nice for you, and we don't got the liberty of time. So we might well just get right to it. You feel me? Might well get right
yes.
to it. Yeah.
Well, if we're gonna hop right into it. It's something that I want to ask you because, in honor of Mother, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, especially if you're watching today. I appreciate you for taking the time out. First and foremost, and happy Mother's Day to the woman who has made you a father of a son. For the second time, I appreciate that. With all, I understand how much emotional turmoil you went through with that loss. So to be able to sit here with you today, understanding that you have another son, like I'm so grateful for that. Like you gotta
Hey,
understand,
you know
like
what?
so.
Me and my partner was talking about that earlier, and I was asking him because he got a son, and I was asking him because I didn't get a chance to really bond with my first son. You know what I mean? I was asking him, like, how it feel, what I'm saying, to have a son, what I'm saying, he look just like you, he act like you, how it feel? And my guy told me, he was like, bro, this shit is like having another chance at life because all the years of head bumps, doing shit the wrong way, the mental anguish, the trauma, the all of that shit, I can now package that shit up for my son and instill it right into him. So he don't gotta go through the shit that I went through. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gotta go through the phase of, what I'm saying, trying to find your way as far as in your environment to you don't have to just go and fit in with people if you don't want to. You know what I'm saying? It's a chance to instill in your son to have self-love. You know what I'm saying? First, before you have love for anybody, even your parents, you gotta love you first. You know what I mean? So it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing. I definitely don't take it for granted. I definitely, what I'm saying, did. And I'm still, what I'm saying, even though I have another son, I still mourn the loss of my first son. You feel me? So, I'm excited, yo. I ain't never smiled this much in my life. You feel me?
I feel you. I so in honor of Mother's Day, question that I wanted to ask you, and I know we've had a conversation about your mom and what she is to you. I want to ask you, what's one of the biggest lessons that she has taught you in your years of living?
Which who taught me?
Hmm?
You said that who taught me?
Your mother.
You said that who taught me?
Your mom.
Oh, my mom. Man,
Yes.
shout out to my mama, boy.
Absolutely.
Listen, listen. If my mama was on here, she would tell you about getting our house shot up because of me. Because niggas was chasing me. You know what I'm saying? Trying to kill me. You know what I mean? Having the police kicking her doors in because of me. You know what I'm saying? Having just a whole bunch of drama centered around her place because of me. My mom was the one who actually got me locked up for the first time, and I resented her. Oh my God, I resented her for years because I stayed in jail for 3 years for that. You know what I mean? And in hindsight, I look back that she saved my life. She didn't have nothing else to do. And for a single mother, they got an out of order child, you know what I'm saying, especially a young boy child who probably don't have any positive male figures that are actually step up into his life and actually, what I'm saying, give him some direction. Man, I understand when these women be like, yo, I'm just gonna send the police and have them come and get you. You know what I'm saying? Because they would rather the police get you because they're not thinking that the police gonna kill you. They just thinking that the police gonna keep you out the way and safe.
Mhm.
They don't know the traumas of being incarcerated. You know what I'm saying? They don't know that being incarcerated most times is sometimes worse than being on the street. You feel me? So me and my mom, we didn't really have a real loving um, relationship until I grew up. You feel me? And
Right.
one of the things that I can say that my mom taught me was, to this day, my mom's still in college. You know what I'm saying? Always be on the quest of bettering yourself. Always be on the quest of learning. You know what I'm saying? Finding new things out. You know what I'm saying? That can elevate you and take you to another space. So I got that from my mama. You know what I'm saying? My
I
mama
heard
was the
that.
one. I just called her and told her that my mama was the one who, when I was a kid, me and my sister had to be about 6 years old. And I can vividly remember my mom having stacks of Encyclopedia Britannicas You know what I'm saying? And magazines on the Black Power movement, and I see the black fists raised up, and I see the afros. My mom is the one instilled that in me. You know what I mean? So it's no wonder that I will be where I am now. My mom is a revolutionary.
And you've told me that, and you told me that. I think there's a podcast that I actually did where I talk about how revolutionaries are not just, people who only stood up for racial movements, but even just breaking generational curses or passing
Mhm.
down generational blessings. Those things that's revolutionary, because in a time of where Black people, we don't even have, like, we don't know our choices. So for you to go and get other choices, I want to ask you something, because even you telling me like your mom instilled this into you, what made you choose the streets and why not follow the knowledge that was being given?
Man, if I keep it all the way, but I chose the streets because I was following other niggas.
Hmm.
I didn't choose the streets because my situation. Yeah, my mom was addicted to crack, but I had my grandparents that were devout Christians. My grandma was an Eastern Star. My granddaddy was a Mason. So I had a I had a decent foundation. My foundational points wasn't as loose or just out there like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I had some ground points. You know what I mean? I chose the streets because I wanted to fit in. I ain't even gonna lie. I chose the streets because I wanted to fit in. I felt like if I go over here and do this with them, that everybody will like me. I'll be cool with the rest of the cool kids or who I thought was cool. You know what I'm saying? I hang out with them. I can get this would be my validated street nigga card. You know what I'm saying? And boy, was I in for a rude fucking awakening. Boy,
Mhm.
was I in for a rude fucking awakening. Yeah, but it's life, man. Life, man. Life is gonna goddamn teach you some shit that you gonna need to know. You feel me?
Yeah, I do. I definitely feel you. Um, you've said that your first arrest was at 12, which wasn't a wake up call. It was almost a badge of honor. At what point
Definitely.
did the identity of being hard or street start feeling like a trap instead of power?
You said when did it?
Yeah, like when did that start?
When I was incarcerated, man, and I couldn't get out. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
Yeah.
hold on, man. Holding this real nigga flag, man. I'm losing more than I've ever gained being a real nigga, bro. I've lost more than I've ever gained trying to hang out in the streets and be a gangster. You feel me? I lost more than I can ever say that I've ever gained. So
Mhm.
I was incarcerated on my last bid. You know what I'm saying? And them people were trying to give me like 30 years, right? And I'm just
Yeah.
sitting there and I'm frustrated and I got all this anger inside of me and I'm trying to figure out, like, damn, what I'm gonna do? What I'm gonna do? Telling wasn't an option. You know what I'm saying? That was not an option, nigga. We're gonna go down with the ship. You know what I mean? Because we. So this is one thing that I want to say this. This is one thing that I know for a fact that I was taught and raised by my nigga. If you goddamn out here, you doing stupid shit, and them people come and get you, take your fucking weight. Don't leave that shit for somebody else to do. Take your weight as a man. You know what I'm saying? You man enough to goddamn be out here doing crash dummy shit that's gonna lead you into jail. Take your weight. You feel me? So yeah, yeah.
I want to ask you, what was the hardest thing about transforming from your street life to the life that you have now?
The opinions of others and
Hmm.
me caring about the fucking opinions of others. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man, when I first came home from prison and I had a bow tie on, I joined the Nation Islam. I had a bow tie on, I had a suit, had a stack of final calls. I'm out passing the final calls. I'm thinking I'm doing God's work. You feel me? Because I ain't on the street shooting at niggas. You feel me? So when somebody who I kind of used to respect seen me for the very first time and asked me what's wrong with me, that's when I knew I was on the right path. I knew I was on the
Mhm.
right path when I was like, oh. Fuck you mean what's wrong with me? Nigga, my skin is glowing. I look like I'm about 13, 14, and I'm in my 20s. What is you talking about? I got a nice clean suit on, you know what I'm saying? White shirt, shoes is shine, my posture is straight. What is you talking about? What's wrong with me? And that just goes back to the mentality of having low self-esteem. It's a lot of people out here with low self-esteem and they will never fucking admit it. It's a lot of
Yeah.
people out here just doing shit just to fit in, but they will never fucking admit it. You know what I mean? Once I was able to break the audacity of myself to give a fuck about what other people felt and thought about me,
Mhm. Yeah.
that's when shit started opening up for me.
I know that's
When I
right.
stopped caring how people felt. I don't care what the fuck you feel. Fuck you.
I think that's I like that you say that because it's something that I say all the time that Western ideology has taught us that our value lies outside of ourselves. That you cannot indeed value yourself. Your value you valuing yourself don't matter. If everybody else don't value you, then what we really talking about here? So I
Right.
do think that that is something that is very important to have that self-worth that lives inside of you, and a lot of people don't have that. And I think the reason why they don't have that is because we have so many distractions. We don't we have a hard time getting down to the root of who we are simply because we done covered it up with Instagram. We done covered it up with, oh no, I'm just
Money.
this how I make my money, or this how I
Mm-hmm.
pop 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 pop. And you don't even know you trying to keep up with the Joneses the entire time. It's the subliminal ways that they trap you. And
Right.
now we in this battle with vision. We in this battle with, and this is why, and so that's why I named this From Chaos to Clarity, because I do feel
That's
like
perfect.
we have, huh?
I said that was perfect though.
But I feel like even just reading the bio that you had sent over to me, I do feel like there was a lot of chaos that had to be crossed to gain clarity in the first place,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of things where we'll deem it confusion, or we'll deem it, oh, I was on the wrong track this entire time. But here's something that I'm learning about me just in general, like out of all the years that I deemed myself fucking up, I learned so much. You understand what I'm
True.
saying? Like
Yeah.
it was so much that I learned. And if I ever, I want to ask you, if you had the opportunity, because it's one of those cliche questions, what would you change about your journey?
Man, this may sound crazy, but what I would change about my journey is nothing, but just
Mhm.
but for it to be a little harder, so I can
Yeah.
learn a little more. You feel me? Cause what you just said, you learn in the
You do.
chaos. You know what I'm saying? I learned people. I learned how to watch people. I learned how to, you know what I mean? And not just outside entities. I learned about me being in a
Hmm.
cell 23 hours a day by myself. You know what I'm saying? I learned that I have to have me. You know what I'm saying? I gotta have
Yeah.
me. I don't care if my mama got me. I don't care if my daddy got me, my sister, my brother, I don't care if none of them got me. I gotta got me. You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely
Yeah.
feel that. I like that though, because this is something that I made a post about this not too long ago, where I was talking about how we have to that the solid people that we have in our lives, we have to understand that they're a privilege, because you don't have to do what you do. You don't have to support me. You don't have to show up for me. And even if I don't ask, or even if I don't say nothing, and you still show up, like my brother showing up tonight, and I
Salute to your
appreciate
brother.
that. Like, you feel me? Like the support from family, all of those things really matter. But just like you said, at the end of the day, if this the thing, like we'll give up on a dream of ours simply because nobody else is supporting it. Baby, it's your dream. What you mean? What we really doing? You expecting other people to carry your dream for you? Your dream ain't gonna never get too far.
God ain't give it to them. He gave it to you.
It give it to you. That's
He
it.
gave
I
it to
like
you.
that.
It ain't everybody's responsibility for your dreams to come true. Your dream is supposed to come true because of you. If other
Hmm.
people help you along the way, that's good. But it's not a requirement.
Yeah, it's not. And I think we got to get rid of that ideology. I want to talk about this debate that I was watching, actually, because there was this white guy. he goes around, and I do not know his name for anything. If you've ever seen a clip of him, he goes around and he debates with students at like colleges and stuff like that. Like there was
Mhm.
one where he had on like abortion, when and like when a fetus is viable. They also had one about Republicans and Democrats. And the one that I want to talk about is the one that I saw about the Republicans and the Democrats. And basically, he was stating that Democrats, they like to pull the race card. The young lady was telling him essentially that Black people make up, I think she stated like 13% of the population. And he said, yes, they make up a small percentage of the population, but they make up 55% of the incarceration rate. And then he asked the young lady, he said, well, why do you think that is? And so the young lady, she didn't have an answer. I thought she did the smartest thing that she could possibly do and was flip the question back to the man. And she asked him, well, why do you think that they have that high percentage of incarceration rate? His first answer, his immediate answer was because they didn't have a father in the home. I'd like to know how you feel about that and if you can expound on that.
First, excuse me, I was eating,
Uh-huh.
and I actually, excuse me, this may sound a little rude, this may sound a little disrespectful, but I don't care what white people think.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I really don't, because when we're talking about Black people and we're talking about why they in a situation they in, why they do what they do, why they this number and why they this high number, we're not gonna go to the fucking root of it and say that poverty, that oppression, that we're not gonna go backwards and really look at the conditions. Now, and we have to really ask those people when they be coming with these fucking, like they some fucking geniuses or some shit. If you were to switch all of these so-called criminal Black men and you put them in a position where they are thriving, where they are loved, where they are shown some type of hope, and you take them out of the toxic environment that they are in and you put them in another environment, do you think they will be doing the same thing?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. So if we're going to talk about anything, we need to talk about the root. I don't like to talk about the fucking product of some
They only like
fucking
to talk about the
shit.
symptoms.
Yeah, nah.
I agree
Nah,
with
if
that.
we ain't gonna talk about the oppression, we can't talk about, you know what I'm saying, why Black people doing this. No, nigga, we need to talk about the oppression, because until we identify and rectify the cause, the effect don't even fucking matter.
Yeah.
It don't matter, because it's gonna keep
Well,
going until we
without
fix it.
without 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 depending on the, because I always, like you stated before we even came, before when we were just on here, so I'm very solution based. So even without depending on the white community, how do we better that disparity of inmates? And I know you do your part already, because you even speak, there's video clips of you, and this is, I wanted one of those video clips. I could not find it on your page for the life of me, and
I
I
be
don't know
trying to
why.
be bashful and I be trying not to really show that part, you know what I mean? But I think I really do need to, because it needs to be seen. Because I'm tired of seeing niggas doing dumb shit on the internet all day. That shit's
Yeah,
stupid.
but I think there's, even when you posted the one where you were at the house, you were at the halfway house and you were speaking to the young men at the halfway house. I think it's things like that. It's those type of initiatives. There's a pastor, and her name is Pastor Cynthia L. Dawson, and I've
Hmm.
been patronizing her church for a few months now these days. And we were talking the other day, and I was telling her that I understand that preachers and teachers will always be a thing, but unfortunately, it's time out for preachers and teachers. We actually need people who embody what they preach, what they teach. We got a whole lot of people out here that's just kind of like, oh no, do as I say, not as I do, but that you're not really a teacher. Because if we being honest, like, I don't, what really happened, I didn't learn from my mama because she was always preaching at me. When I really learned something, when it really stuck with me, it was because she embodied it. It was because who she was. I wouldn't
Hmm.
know the true definition of faith had I never seen it in action. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Hmm.
And so I feel like for a lot of Black people, they don't have that. What we do have is a lot of people what we choose to lean towards, or what we choose to see, which is the gang violence, which is the young niggas crashing out. You understand what I'm saying? So like, how do we bridge that gap? How do we bridge that disparity there, would you say?
So first, I need to go backwards and say
Okay.
that I don't have an issue with white people. I
Mm-hmm.
just think that certain topics they should just shut the fuck up and let us deal with it. You feel me? Because we have enough educators, like you just said, we have enough educators with information. All we have to
Mm-hmm.
do is ingest the information. You know what I'm saying? So like me, I'm not gonna if I seen white people or Mexicans or any other race having an issue, I'm not gonna voice my opinion on how I can or how they need to get their shit together. I'm gonna let them figure that shit out. That ain't got nothing to do with me. You feel me? And I
Mm-hmm.
think white people should do that shit with us. They always have to voice themselves. So I just want to say I don't have an issue with them. I just think on certain topics, shut the fuck up, sit in the background, and let us figure this shit out, right? But
Definitely.
I just think that I be encouraging my brothers, my peers who have experienced the trenches, who have went through the mental anguish, and who have we have a fucking duty to go backwards and go back and help those who we help fucking condemn and taint. That's a great start because these young people are not trying to listen to no square ass niggas coming to tell them some shit that they ain't never went through. You know what I mean? I seen this video clip of this brother. He said, in order to cure a disease, you have to use the disease to cure the disease, right? And
It's
the
true.
disease is these this mentality that we have, right? This
Mhm.
mentality that we have of I hate niggas. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see niggas win. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
that
If the
crab in
niggas
the
ain't on my
barrel.
team, fuck them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We have to take that energy because it's all useful energy. Take that energy, take that anger, take that pain, that strife, and we have to restructure that shit into something that can be beneficial to these young people. You know what I mean? I don't want to
Yeah.
see young people give up their guns. I don't want to see young people give up their anger. I don't want to see young people give up that 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 lion inside of them. I don't want to see
Yeah.
them give up. I just want to see you change your direction. You know what I mean? And elevate the way that you think and the way that you see
Absolutely.
yourself. That's it. You
Yeah.
feel me? So that's just man, go and we gotta start tapping into these young people and building their selves. Man, you know how many young people ain't heard I love you or I'm
Yeah.
proud of you?
Mm-hmm.
You know how many of them ain't heard I'm proud of you? You
Yeah.
know how many of them ain't people don't sit down and talk to the young people and be like, yo, so how you feel? How you really feel about this? And
That's
actually
true.
listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
We just telling them what the fuck to do and where to go, how to do, pull your pants up, don't do this. Fuck they pants. I don't give a fuck what they doing with their pants. I give a fuck what they doing right here. Because what if I cure this right here, if I help you fix this right
These are
here,
all
ain't nobody
needs.
gotta worry about your goddamn pants because you're gonna pull them up on
Trying to say.
yourself, on your own.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I just think we waste so much time condemning these young people. You know what I mean? Pointing out what they did wrong, like we innocent, like we ain't never did shit. You know what I'm saying? Instead of telling these young people the fucking truth. We at war times, we think it's fucking nice and sweet because we able to fucking wear Gucci and we able to ride Benzes and we able to nigga, we still at war.
Yeah.
From the first time your motherfucking ancestors were drug here. And we know that we was already here, but it was some that was drug here too. So let's not, I'm not gonna play that game with people and how we was already. We know that. We talking about the ones that was drug here too. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? That was an act of war. That wasn't an act of fucking kindness.
Yeah.
And then they've been trying to make us feel like it's our fault, the reason why we in the situation we in. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
nigga, really? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna never absolve us from accountability because we do hold some type of accountability because we should have killed the first people who came and violated us. We should have killed them. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't have been fucking jolly and fucking happy go lucky and all that shit. And yes,
And selling our people and shit. The
I
fuck.
believe in we should have killed their ass. The first
Yeah.
ones who came with that shit, we should have killed them and sent them on their way. You know what I mean? But since we here now, it's our job to be better,
Mm-hmm.
learn, grow. You know what I mean? Take some of this toxic masculinity and this and these narcissistic ways and this. Man, we dealing with depression. We dealing with damn PTSD. We dealing with people who got stressed the fuck out over paying bills. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? If I'm not
Yes.
stressed out of paying a bill, how the fuck is you gonna help me? And I'm stressed out about paying my goddamn bills. What is you telling
Mm-hmm.
me about some books gonna do for me?
Hmm.
So we gotta know how and what and which ways to goddamn come to our people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
if I see a man over here struggling to pay his bills, I'm not finna come to him talking to him about no fucking books. I'm finna figure out, hey yo, let's figure out a way how we can get you some bread, bro, legally. All this shit
Absolutely.
on the internet we can do. Let's figure out how we can make you a product or something. You know what I'm saying? Let's figure out how we can goddamn take some of these cans. Nigga, I used to go collect cans. You know, we got to figure out something. It's something that we can figure out. So we got to
Yeah.
put our thinking minds to it. And we can't let our ego stop us from doing these things. Because if our ego get in the way, we ain't gonna never win.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. Your ego going your ego gonna set you back 10 times more than what you
Man,
thought it was gonna do in the first place. I think something that you stated that is very important is that we need people who can meet us where we are. And to give us the opportunity to obviously grow through our misunderstandings and not judge us for it. I want to ask you, who was the first person who gave you that opportunity?
man, I will always thank him to this day. Excuse me. It's two black men. One of them is a revolutionary from my city named Dr. Porter. I was homeless and I didn't have a place to stay. I couldn't go to my mom's house. My mom was assistant warden at Stateville Prison. Couldn't go to none of my sisters and brothers' cribs. And my mom has always taught me to never just go shack up with a woman. You know what I mean? So I had to. Dr. Porter has this halfway house. You know what I mean? And I had to go there, and it was hell yeah, it was a humbling experience. You know what I'm saying? But it was an experience that I appreciated because he didn't have to do that shit for me. You feel me? So Dr. Porter and my uncle Timmy, when I got out of prison, man, I went to every temp service. I went to every job, nook and cranny. I went to places like Hollister and places like that I know goddamn well I ain't want to work. But I chose working over doing anything else. So I was just about to get back in the streets. I was about to get back in the streets. I'm standing there talking to one of my partners, and I'm like maybe a week or so out of the penitentiary. So I don't know shit about what's going on in the streets. I don't know who the police. I ain't keep my ear to the streets. I've been gone 10 years. I don't know what's going on. And police run up. My partner Jet, he take off. I'm like a deer in fucking head, like stuck. Because I ain't even peeped the motherfucker coming. I'm slipping. I ain't even peeped the man
Mm-hmm.
coming. So make a long story short, my man, he wound up getting booked. He wound up doing about 12 years off of that day. That was my wake up call. So I wound up calling my mom. You know what I'm saying? I was frustrated, like, man, the people won't give me a job. They ain't gonna give me no chance. And I assumed because I was ready to clean my life up that the rest of the world was gonna embrace me. And lo and behold, that is not the case, Kings. So
Mm-hmm.
don't get frustrated when you come home and there's no welcome parade. It ain't gonna be that. You're gonna have to thug this shit the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? And luckily, I have an uncle who was a master electrician who took a chance with me. You know what I mean? My uncle remember me as the nigga carrying guns and shooting at people, ripping them, running down Kankakee, goddamn, and stolen car, doing crash dummy shit. That's what my uncle remember me from. He don't know me as a worker. You know what I'm saying? He never seen me
Mm-hmm.
work a job. So he took a chance on me. And
Yeah.
I'm so thankful that he took that chance, and I've been doing this shit ever since. Never looked
Okay.
back. Yep.
Okay. So from entrepreneurship from formerly incarcerated people,
Yeah.
people isn't just about money, it's about sovereignty. What's a term in your contract or business practice you enforce specifically because of what you survived?
You're breaking up. Hold on,
Oh,
Desi. Say it again. You're breaking up.
I said, what's a term in your contract or business practice you enforce specifically because of what you've survived?
Yeah, you breaking up, Desi. Dang.
I'm still breaking
Let
up.
me see something.
Is this
Turn
better?
my
Can
Wi-Fi
you hear
on.
me now?
Let me
Hold
see
on.
something. See if that's gonna help. Oh man, it must have took Desi off. She'll be right back. She'll be right back. So I'll just goddamn freestyle. Anyway, this is an intermission. Man, go to the website. Go to the website, akadecollectionbrand.com. Go to the website, man. 50%, I mean 25% off today. Use the code mother. Use the code mother. It's good until midnight. It's good until midnight. Okay, there she goes. She back.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I'm not breaking up anymore.
No.
All right, perfect. That now the question I was asking is from entrepreneurship for formerly incarcerated people. It isn't just about money; it's about sovereignty. So a lot of what you state is basically that you had to find things that were essentially more powerful to you than what you used to be. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
What's a term in your contract or business practice you enforce specifically because of what you survived?
Um. Um. I'll just say customer service. You know.
Mhm.
Um. Being listening to your customer. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, a lot of times we're not listening to people. We're dictating to them, but we're not listening to them. You know what I mean? We're not hearing what they want, what they going through. We're not hearing, you know what I'm saying, none of their problems. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay, I feel that. I think listening is a big part though, because I agree with you. I think a lot of times we listen to respond. We don't
Hmm.
have the ability to focus, listen. And something that I'm learning about people is that if I just take the time to shut up, 9 times out of 10, whatever it is that I think we're disagreeing about, it's not even that we disagreeing. They just wording it differently than I'm saying it. And I'm mad at the words that you're using because they don't match my vernacular, my vocabulary. Like, but if and I think that's something like human connection is strange. It's because you'll look at somebody and hear me because I grew up in the church, right? I grew up Pentecostal. And for me, it's always been the people that Jesus had kept around him. And everybody will always talk about like how, oh, he had somebody who was a doubter. He had a betrayer that was around him. He had somebody who was a murderer. He had like this nigga literally had a whole bunch of people who was probably all cast off by society in the first fucking place because they want nothing nobody was trying to fuck with anyways. And
Right.
I really do think that if we just take the time to sit down and we listen to people, like even how you say about just listening to the young men and really being curious about what it is that they're saying, or really what's in their head, like what you how you really feel, like how you what you really talking about. I think it's
Hmm.
important that we get that understanding of what a person is going through before we just shell out ideals. I was talking to an old friend of mine. He was essentially telling me that that he didn't have the ability to listen without giving some type of solution. And I told him, I said, well, see, the problem with that is if you don't listen to the whole problem, your solution that you give might not be good enough to help them with their problem because you won't shut up long enough to hear what the problem actually
Yeah.
is. You hear a
Nah,
piece of the story, and now you want to jump in and give a solution. Calm that down.
nah, you can't because you will misdiagnose people. And a lot of people have misdiagnosed people and gave people the wrong um, medicine when they needed something different. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I would not want to be that person or that doctor or that healer or that, person that's bringing somebody something to help and it ain't what they fucking need. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? That's like somebody,
absolutely.
you sitting here drowning in a damn ocean and somebody bringing you a tuxedo. Like, what the fuck I need a tuxedo for when I'm drowning here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What I'm where that shit at? You know,
Hmm.
I think that is ego. You know what I mean? Because you feel like you have the answers for people, but you don't got the answers for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You got all the answers for other
Hmm.
folks' life, but you can't see where you can use that on your own advice. Nah,
Yeah.
nah, nah,
I
nah.
want to hop into to your book, The Black Man's Mental Health Guide. You talk
Okay.
about safe places, safe spaces in that book. But
Mhm.
most men, just in general, they don't trust therapists. I want to ask you, what's the entry point to healing for someone who thinks vulnerability is death?
So, um, I like to dispel this myth that black men don't trust vulnerability because we do. We trust
Hmm.
with each other. We tell each other our secrets. We tell each other, you know what I'm saying? When, if I could be candid, man, when that chick cheated on you, or when that, or when this, we tell each other these things. So yeah, we can be vulnerable. The thing is, the person that you're being vulnerable with, are they gonna be honest with you and tell you the truth when you fucking up? When you done did some fuck shit, you know what I mean? Are they gonna
Hmm.
tell you the truth? You know what I'm saying? So we most definitely have, you know what I'm saying? We most definitely have safe spaces, you know what I'm saying, with each other. You know what I mean? I hate
Yeah,
when we say that black men don't have no safe space. Yes, the fuck we do. We talk to each other all day. You know what I'm saying? We talk
absolutely.
to each other just like everybody else talk to each other. You know what I'm saying? The problem is, do the people you talk to be honest with you? Or do they
Hmm.
be yes men? Or do they want to cover your shit because they don't want you to uncover their shit? You know what I mean? It's like a
Yeah,
shit. We just gonna go down with the ship together. No, fuck that. I don't want people around me who ain't gonna tell me when I'm fucking up. Don't You can't come around me. No,
please
because
don't.
I'm gonna tell you when
Say
you
this.
fucking up, and it's gonna make you not want to be around me. It's gonna make you
Yeah,
not want to be around me because I'm gonna say it, and I'm not gonna wait till the perfect time. I'm gonna say it right fucking then. You fucking up. You know what I mean? And I'm glad I finally got some brothers around me who they appreciate that honesty. You know what I'm saying? And they can be honest with me about that. You know what I mean? So yeah. But we
I like
definitely
that.
got safe spaces. I hate that myth that we don't, cause we do. You know what I
I
mean?
agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. And the only reason why I agree with you is because I have a lot of I have a lot of men in my life. Like literally that sounded bad.
No, it's not.
But I have a lot of men in my life, and the men that I have in my life, a lot of people when they tell me that men don't know how to be vulnerable, or men like to play aloof and different things like that. But the male friends that I have, and I mean like strictly male friends. I mean like we've always been platonic, like ain't nothing ever happened. So for me, for them to be able to come to me always and tell me exactly what's going on, all I ever think of is like, nah, they just don't trust you. And that's really what it is. Either they saw something in you where they understand that they cannot confide in you, so they will not. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why that happened. But I believe we had this conversation before. It was me, you, Mr. Accountability, and we
Mm-hmm.
were talking about, and China was on there too, I believe, and I think Nunu might have been on there, and we were talking
Mm-hmm.
about how women how women can be safe places for men. And I remember China, she went on to start talking about how she didn't think that women had to be safe places for men, and I and
I
and that
remember.
is the
Uh,
mentality. Yes,
Yeah, I'm
that,
just
but that's a lot of people's mentalities, because I do believe that we have been wired to believe, to distrust the community that is around us. And
mm-hmm.
that is what, and when when we're talking about how they talk about the disparity and how black people don't have fathers, but they refuse to talk about the history. Now there's this debate around the Willie Lynch letter that it purportedly is not real, that this was something that was written and made to seem, and out here, if we're discussing the authenticity of the Willie Lynch letter, here's something that I really want to state, that I do not care whether it was real or whether it was fake. Whoever
It don't
wrote it,
see it.
they,
You
you
see it playing
understand
out.
what I'm, it
We
did,
see it
it was
every day.
accurate.
So what whether it's real or it wasn't, or whether it was made up, well, I don't care. It's played out, and we've bought into it.
Exactly.
How do we
And it's
fix it?
exactly how
You
they
know what I'm
kept
saying?
this cycle going for all of these years. And now we still play into that system. We still play into those same things. And I understand that we think that it is not important to understand our history. It's not important to understand our lineage. But I'm here to tell you that that's more important than you could ever know. It is so important for you to understand where you came from, so you can understand where you're going, so you can understand how not to fuck up in the same manner that they fucked up. So what you gotta walk in circles for when everybody done journaled into your blood what the fuck this shit about? And we be so adamant about walking in circles without no direction.
Because we've been taught that that's the way, but that ain't the way. You know what I mean? It's not. Listen, I just had a son, February 17th. I will be 48 June 14th. So my 48 years of life, right? And this is just me. I don't care what nobody else say, right? If my son is blessed to make it to 20 years old and he goes to prison, or he joins a gang and he's shooting at people, he's robbing folks, I failed. I failed. What was the use of me surviving all of this shit if my own child can't reap the benefits of it? I fucking failed. Because charity starts at home. It don't start with everybody else. It starts right in your house. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of people like to make excuses about, man, your children, they gonna do what they want to do. They gonna make their mistakes. Bullshit. What did you feed your child? And I made a post about this yesterday. I said, you can't tempt your children with street life and don't think they're gonna be intrigued by it, just like it fucking intrigued you.
Hmm.
You can't goddamn be 1 foot in the streets and 1 foot out the streets and think that your children are not gonna be intrigued by the streets shit that you still do. It's
Mhm.
either your ass is gonna be all the way in it or you're gonna be all the way out of it. Period.
That's
There
it.
is no in between, right? So if
Mhm.
your son just so happens to, or my son, I'm gonna use mine. If my son happens to be in the streets and he get murdered, that's I have to own a part of that because I introduced you to the street shit. Where did you see the street shit at? You seen me. You seen me running in and out the house. You know what I'm saying? Got my pants sagging and got my pistol. You seen me do that. And if you're my
But
child,
I
hell
want
yes,
to
you're watching me.
Well, I want to ask you this. If that's not the lifestyle that you live right now, and he still somehow managed to fall into that lifestyle, would you still consider yourself a failure, even though that's not what you put in front of him?
So, and this is only my opinion. This
Yeah,
I
what's
just
your
please
opinion?
don't nobody feel ashamed. Don't nobody feel attacked. You know what I mean? Don't nobody
Yeah.
get gaslit. But just my opinion. Um, children's minds are impressionable, right? And most times we be so caught up with trying to survive that we unintentionally neglect our children, unintentionally because we're trying to survive. We're trying to work this overtime to pay for this bill, or we're trying to give our children the best clothes and all the Jordans. And I'm not doing none of that shit, right? I'm not doing none of that with these babies. None of that shit. They not getting devices and they not doing all that shit. It will be a little bit more hands-on now because I saw with my other children how those devices kind of it didn't kind of dumb them down, but it did expose them to shit I did not want them to see yet. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? So, and we control that, parents.
Yeah.
We control what our impressionable minded children see in their first stages from like maybe what first newborn to like maybe 13. We control what the fuck you seeing. We controlling what you interacting with. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
if my son did choose, I can't even say that because my son ain't going. I'll break your fucking legs. I'll break your fucking legs.
Listen, I'm that
Yeah,
adamant about
you gonna
not
be a
happening.
you
You
gonna be
feel
a
me?
paraplegic motherfucking gangbanger. I'll break your fucking
I am weak
legs.
as
Straight up.
hell.
We ain't doing none of that.
I want to switch subjects really, really quickly, and I know it's something, and I saved it for the end specifically for this reason. I want to hop into your clothing line. And one of the questions that I want to ask you is, I want to know what inspired you to start your clothing line.
Um, First I have to give a shout out to my brother. Who this was not my idea. I
Mhm.
had an idea for a clothing line, but this brand specifically was not my idea. It was my brother in New Orleans, um, Samari Kamara, and he was running the business. He actually started the business because he had to go to court and he couldn't find a polo. I mean, he couldn't find some stuff that he can wear to court. You know what I mean? So he decided to create his own. Long story short, he brought me on as just a marketer. And when my brother moved to Ghana, I kind of took in leadership or ownership of the brand because my brother he moved on to other things. So um, when I first got introduced to the brand, I just fell in love with it because I saw the vision and I saw where it can go and what can what I'm saying, what
Mhm.
it can actually mean and what it can actually do. What I'm saying? So yeah.
I like that. I've shopped. I've shopped the Akari collection actually, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you something about your shirts. The quality of your shirts are amazing. I still have your shirt. It's still black as hell. I'm sure it's not the detergent that I use. No, like, but no, and the feel stays. I've washed that shirt a few times. It ain't shrunk or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like my shirts a little bigger, so I definitely quality. Now I want to ask you about your message behind your clothing line.
hmm So um, basically, to make a long story short, uh, we encourage celebrating individuality. You feel me? We encourage, you know, um,
There is a there's like a
and
static. You
yes,
sound
it's
like
that.
really.
Yeah,
You
man,
hear
is
it?
that me?
Is it
I,
me or
I,
is it you? I
I hear.
just hear it on both.
Okay,
It might be
okay.
me.
Um, but um, it's a cultural thing for me. It's cultural for me because when I found out that my family was Nigerian, you couldn't tell me a goddamn thing. You couldn't tell me nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's more cultural for me um, to share my ideas and share, what I'm saying, some of the things that I find interesting while also paying attention to our customer. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Okay, Desi, you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
All right, cool. Yeah.
It was culture. They couldn't tell you a goddamn thing. When you found out that you were Nigerian, what did you do? A genealogy or
Yeah,
something like
so
that?
just think about this, right? Just think about this.
Okay.
What clothing brand do you know? And I'm not hating on nobody, but what clothing brand do you know that will use an endinker symbol as something to identify on a shirt?
Not many. Not many places that you think that a mainstream push so much positivity. I would I would want to like.
And it still be kind of like something I would wear. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen a lot of clothing brands, but it was like some stuff that I wouldn't wear. No disrespect to nobody, but I still like to get fresh. I come from the street, so we had that like little element of, once I got a little money, I was able to see a little something. So I like quality shit. I like, what I'm saying, nice shit, and I like what I like. You know what I mean? I can't change that. But I also like my culture. I love my culture. I love, what I'm saying, the part of me that I can share with people. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And we got a lot of heat coming. Oh my God.
Yeah, you just had a drop. May 1st,
Yeah,
you
May 1st
dropped
drop is
a whole new line.
yeah, the May 1st drop is slowly between now and the rest of the month. We're gonna be dropping things all month. But right now, today, you can go and get a 25% discount and use the code mother at checkout and get 25% discount on your entire order. So that will disappear at midnight, but go take advantage of that shit.
At the karecollection.com.
At collectionbrand.com. Absolutely. You know what I mean? If you
Okay.
what I mean, go to my link in my bio. It's in there.
And it's with a K.
Collection with a
A
K. Right here. Collection with a K. Collection with a K.
collection brand. C-O-M.
Yeah. Collection with a K. Yeah. Um Instagram is Akade_collection. TikTok is Akade collection brand. Um, yep.
So
And we
if you haven't
appreciate it,
shopped,
man.
there's
We
the link there. Make sure you
cold
check them
word
out.
for Mother's Day. Cold word mother, get 25% off today up until midnight. And we definitely appreciate you. We definitely appreciate anybody who just go take a look at us. You know what I mean? We're not really twisting people's arm to go shop. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't like to do that. But I just want you to just take a look at it. And if you think that it's something that you will wear, man, you ain't even got to purchase nothing. Just go share it with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Put it in the inbox or tag it on your page or tag us on your page. You know what I'm saying? We don't like to really be hounding people to be buying because we know people got shit they got to do with their money. We would appreciate it if you would purchase, but you know what I'm saying? It ain't no sweat. You feel me? It ain't no sweat. But
And if you can't purchase nothing, just share. Put it
just
in
share.
front of the people. Put it
Just
in
share.
front of the people who can purchase something. You don't understand how not having money don't mean that you cannot help a business brand boost it up. Can't do none of that. Like the things that are free work just as much as the things that cost. I mean, money put money in my pocket, but you sharing
Work
also put money in my pocket as well. So
as
like
well. As well.
it's that. It take a community. I want to ask, do you have any new books coming out?
Yeah, I do. I got I actually now working on another one right now. It is a vegan soul food book.
Oh.
With all the recipes. It will have some um meal prep ideas. Um, yeah, it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope. People been asking me to do this shit for years. I've been vegan for 20 years. So people been asking me to do this shit for a long time. And I've been vegan when vegan wasn't cool. You know what I mean? I've been vegan when
Yeah.
you couldn't go to the restaurant and get a Beyond Burger. You couldn't get a goddamn, you know what I'm saying, burger at Burger King. You couldn't get no burger at Burger King when I became a vegan. Wasn't no option. Nigga ate fries and beans a lot. You know what I'm saying? Salads and shit. We ate a lot of that.
Yeah.
You feel me? So just to be able to have the options now to be able to use mushrooms and different things that are a little bit more healthier than this so-called plant-based processed food. Um, that's something that I'm leaning towards, and it's something that I definitely want to push because, you know, it's we can cure a lot of our diseases and unhealthiness and even our emotional health just by eating healthy. You know what I mean? Working out and eating healthy will change your mental. Who would have told us that? Who's teaching us that your mental is also connected to how you're eating? If I'm eating bullshit all day, yeah, I'm gonna have a fucking slump day. That shit is not gonna be, and so I'm gonna be a little irritable and so on and so forth. But if I'm eating lighter, if I'm eating healthier, if I'm getting up in the morning, just do me about 10, 15 push-ups and a couple jumping jacks and a couple squats and a couple of these and a couple of these, you know what I mean? It will help my day. You know what I mean? It will make me have a better day. You know what I mean? And I'm telling myself, and we have to reprogram ourselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, we have to program ourselves and reprogram our taste buds. A lot of our taste buds is so used to eating bullshit and fake
Right.
food,
Yeah.
fake processed food that when we actually taste some real shit is nasty because
Mm.
it's bitter. Cause it don't got all them fucking sweeteners in it. It don't got all the
GMOs and all that shit. It don't
GMOs.
got all them
It don't got all that in it.
salt,
So
that
when we taste it, it's
sodium
like
and shit.
that's nasty. And I would like to say this for the life of me. Being a vegan is not expensive. It's not. You just have to take time and care about how the fuck you eat. Cause you can find shit at the dollar store that you can eat. You know what I mean? You can find beans and you can find, you know what I'm saying? People don't like beans are not appealing as a fucking bag of shrimp. You just want the fucking shrimp. So yeah.
Where can we purchase your books at?
My stand store will be up. It's not up yet. I was still working on my stand store, the back end of it. But I'm definitely on. You're gonna be the first person to know.
Thank you. I also
Yeah.
I do want to give you guys just this little, I want to put this out here. And Chris, if you haven't, I know you know who Mental is. He just came out with a new book. It's called Cosmic Awareness. So
Okay.
if you're into the intellectual reads, if you're into occult knowledge, all of these things, one thing that I love about the author Mental is that he breaks down everything for you to get a very great ideal of what the fuck he's talking about. He also had
Yeah.
another book that was called Overstanding Darkness. You can look him up. If you type in any name of his book, it's Cosmic Awareness and the other one is Overstanding Darkness. It'll pop right up. He'll pop up with it. They're on Amazon as well. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're looking to support black authors, listen, there's that. So, and if you're looking to support black businesses, well, look, we have one right here directly. Definitely shop with them, check them out. I appreciate you, Chris. I appreciate you coming on here, talking with me, sharing your passion with me,
Hold on.
sharing your life. Oh yeah,
Hold on. This is a treat. Let me get my boy. I have to get him. Hold on.
absolutely. So, if you guys are looking for some good reads and different things like that, whenever his site is ready with his stuff on it, definitely make sure you check him out. Definitely make sure you check out Mental. And if I shout out nobody else, just another clothing line, check out Queen's Closet. And also, don't forget the Akate Collection brand.com. They have some really dope drops, like really amazing brands there. Um, and it's a style that liberates. So what are you waiting for? Shop black. Shop now. Get with the people. And I think that we just have to hello. Oh man. I love life. I really do. I don't even know. Like, I love life so much. Mhm.
You dogged out. Oh, nice
Yeah.
people.
He is
Yeah.
adorable. Baby.
So yeah, I already
Also,
did. So Both of them. He ain't going backwards. We going forward. This
That's
torch. I'm gonna throw the torch to
that's
you. We ain't doing none of that backward shit.
that's
Mm-mm.
it.
Mm-mm. We refuse. Ain't that right, man?
That's
Yeah.
epigenetics at its finest. Do you hear me? We transform DNA. We don't just settle in what was.
Mm-mm.
I definitely feel that. A whole
Mm-mm.
little junior. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it. Well, I
Yeah.
appreciate you sharing your son with us as well.
Uh,
Aw,
what's up? You ready?
he ready. He ready. Got your eyes open?
You ready for the
Let
world?
me see.
You ready for the world? Hmm. You ready? You
Yeah,
ready?
he ready. I saw the
All
shake. I saw the head shake.
right. Cool.
He put his hand up like I'm ready. I'm tired, but I'm ready. Might want to go back to sleep. I don't know.
Back to sleep now. All right. Cool.
Well, thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate you. I appreciate the knowledge that you walk with. As I stated, I appreciate the passion that you walk with, the fire that you walk with. I think everything about you is very necessary. I understand that you are a man of peace, but you are definitely prepared for war. If I've learned nothing else about you, I know that. So, thank you for making tonight possible. Would you like to say anything to the viewers before we?
Um. Yeah, I do. I do. I do. Um. Hey, be patient with the young people. You know what I mean? I was one of them young people. You know, and I was fortunate enough to have some real men who cared enough about my situation to help me and talk to me. So, man, be patient with the young people, man. You never know. You never know who you might inspire. You never know the spark that you might start in somebody's life. You know what I mean? You never know who life you might be helping by just being patient with people and not, you know what I mean, expecting people to be where you are in your journey. You know what I mean? Because your journey might be light years in front of people. So just be patient with people. Ain't that right, man? So some people are babies.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. Oh, I'm sorry.
No. I was saying because some people just babies, ain't they, man? Yeah.
That's it. Got to give them time to develop. You got to give them time to grow up. Chris, your journey is nothing short of remarkable, from a life that could have ended tragically to becoming an author, an electrician, a speaker, and a mentor. You've proven that reinvention is possible. So, once again, thank you for sharing your story and lighting the way for others. He has told us all where we can find his work. If you do not follow him on Facebook, follow him on Facebook. He definitely goes live and drops gems all the time. And just to put it out there one more time, shop the Akati Collection brand.com. You can use the code MOTHER. Is that correct?
Midday. Mm-hmm. Till
Tonight
midnight.
until 12.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you shop, get a discount. Y'all always hollering y'all want discounts, but then when people got discounts, y'all go use the discount. What we doing? Let's make it
Appreciate
make sense. So thank you so much for tuning into the immersive experience. It's been a pleasure. I hope you guys got so much out of it. I hope you got as much out of it as I did. Have a good night.
Appreciate it.